Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you this week's flavors, which this week I actually didn't have any of my original flavors like milk chocolate, those type. They were all different variety, which is a little bit more expensive on us. It's probably not the smartest move, but I was like, you know what? I have so many on mine that I just want to do them, and so I went ahead and did so. If you have already purchased my red velvet recipe that comes along with my base without chocolate chips and the one with cookies and cream and all that, then this is going to be a piece of cake for you. I'm going to be showing you two new base flavors that is using my recipes. I'll leave it link down below, but it's on my website at cremepie.com. And yeah, let's get started because I am obsessed with these new flavors bases. So first of all, we have the strawberry crunch, which for this base, if you know anything about me, I don't like that artificial strawberry flavor. One of the reasons it had taken me kind of long to actually have a strawberry based cookie, because this is the first time that I ever did this, but adding strawberry dried strawberries is what made it taste like real strawberries, if that makes sense. I tried using jam, but it was just not a good move to start off with. I don't know why I did that, but I did so in the past. So all I did with this was use my original chocolate chip recipe, the first recipe that ever came out, but I removed a little bit of the flour and added a little bit, replaced that with some dried strawberries, which I just put it in my food processor, blended it up, and added some white chocolate chips. Obviously, instead of milk chocolate chips, you can do milk chocolate chips. That's coming real soon for me in my business. I mean, who doesn't love strawberries and chocolate? And that was it for that base. Super simple. Everything will be linked down below in the description box. And then here is my pumpkin base one. I've already shared this one in the past, but I do add a little bit of pumpkin puree, not a lot, because I noticed that the more you add, yes, it's yummy, more pumpkin flavor, but unfortunately it gives it that bread texture that I do not appreciate. I like to still feel like I'm eating a cookie and not a bread. So the way to do that was adding a little bit more pumpkin spice, less the pumpkin puree. And so I do add that, but I have to add a little bit more flour, and then I do add a little bit of food coloring. I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention that last time. It's just a little tiny bit to still have that very natural look. Obviously it's not like screaming orange, but like I said, because we did remove a little bit of the pumpkin puree that I used to use, the amount, it doesn't have that bright natural color that I would have loved, but it's still just as delicious. So this one is the star of the show, or it was for me. If you guys know, I don't drink coffee anymore. It gives me a headache. However, I did have a caramel frap for the first time in so long last week, and it did not give me a headache. So probably because that's just more sugar than it is coffee. This one was so good, and the way that I brought out that coffee flavor was using this one. I ordered it off Amazon. I'm gonna link it down below, and then I just add a little bit of water, but to still have that thick consistency. It's not like super watery at all. The thicker it is, the better, because it's concentrating best without changing your a cookie base. So that's literally all I did to this cookie, was just add that coffee to it, and I added some caramel chips to it. So that's why I named it caramel macchiato, because it literally, that's what it reminded me of. You guys need to try that one out for sure. And that one was using my original chocolate chip base cookie, but just adding a little bit of the coffee flavor to that one. And so right here I'm preparing my Little Debbie's oatmeal cream pie cookie. So for this one I did use my oatmeal based cookie, which I haven't shared on here, but I have made since like 2 years ago. It's a staple of mine, but I did add a little bit less oatmeal than what I regularly add to my oatmeal based cookies, just because I am adding actual Little Debbie's cookies in here. So that's the reason why I did that. And then one little thing to note, for this one, yes, it's using basically my base cookie without the chocolate chips, but I still before removing a little bit of the flour, I add a little bit more butter as well, just because the oats do dry out more, like it absorbs it. I don't know how to explain, but it's definitely not the same thing as flour, so I have to add a little bit more butter to it. Like I said, everything's gonna be linked down in the description box. I do like to mention all the little things that I do add or remove on the video, but everything's gonna be available, so you can just screenshot it and, you know, make the swaps using my recipe. And I add a little touch of cinnamon, not enough to make it taste like a cinnamon cookie, it just gives it that little pop to it as well. So here we have another one with that. The coffee and French toast, I feel like, was my favorite. Yes, even I'm putting that first before the strawberry one, and I was eating a lot of the strawberry one, but this French toast was so good. So my base did have some pure maple syrup. Use the pure just because it gives it that obviously maple flavor, but without using so much of it, so it doesn't change the texture a lot, which I still add a little bit more flour than what I typically do use. And I'm using my cookie base without chocolate chips. I also add a little bit of dash of cinnamon, and I add some just frozen French toast. I cut it up in pieces and add it to the dough, and it literally tastes like French toast. I mean, it has to, even the texture. However, with this one, I did struggle a bit. Remember, like now, since I have the base recipe of everything basically, I create just flavors that I'm personally craving, and this was one of them. But along the way, kind of going back to what I was saying about the oatmeal, that it absorbs differently. Well, this one absorbed it very differently, and the whole opposite of it. My dough was starting to sweat, and I was like, okay, why are you sticky? And I went ahead and added more flour to it. But I don't know, like my French toast was literally like 98% defrosted. Like there was some areas that kind of felt a little bit cold still, but it was pretty much defrosted. So I don't know if it was because, since I don't know, the French toast wasn't warm and it was just cold. I don't know what it was, but yeah, that happened. So you see, I still have little errors that I make myself, but I share those with you so you don't create the same. I went through it. You're gonna be able to just copy the recipe from the description box down below, and you won't have that issue. But believe me, my dough was sweaty. Like I was like, did you work out? But it was phenomenal. You guys have to try it out, all jokes aside. So right here, I call this my peanut butter lovers, because that's exactly what it is. It is a peanut butter based cookie. Obviously, since I added a little bit of the peanut butter, I did go ahead and add a little bit more flour, and then I am using my cookies and cream, or just the base cookie that I add cookies to it, or just more add-ons, toppings, whatever you want to call them. I am using that base, and that one already uses it a little bit of more butter, but I still use that one, if that makes sense. Don't think because we're adding peanut butter I remove butter from it. No, I do add that extra amount, just because, once again, cookies dry out the base dough. So I would always notice my cookie bases being like drier than usual. And so adding more butter to it was the way to go for this one. But it's a peanut butter base, and then I added some Reese's peanut butter cup, and then I added some peanut butter Oreos. So yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, anyone who is a peanut butter chocolate lovers would love this, although it's not a lot of chocolate, but Yeah, and I do go ahead and make that towards the very end just because it is peanut butter and anyone who's allergic. Yes, I have it on the same tray. No, I made sure it's not touching at all. I just wanted to have it on there just for the purpose of the video, but I go ahead and prepare it to the very end. That way there's no cross contamination with all the other cookies, and I do weigh it out to the very end. That way my gloves aren't touching it. Just thought I mention it out there. But I go ahead and obviously weigh it out, put it in the freezer, and then I bake it till the next day. And I typically make my doughs Mondays and Tuesdays, and then I have my flash sales on Thursdays and Fridays. But this week I actually just did it today, Saturday, and I will be posting the video tomorrow, Monday, just because I need that extra day for promotion. So for us Mexicans, our Independence Day is this Saturday, so I wanted to make it, you know, patriotic theme, having all my favorite traditional Mexican desserts like flan, but also some, obviously, my favorite snacks, chunky cookie inspired. So I'm gonna be having that, and I need that extra day to promote just because my main base of customers is American. I do have obviously my Latinos out there too, but a lot of them are American, so they're most likely not gonna know what a gansito is. So I do want to have that extra day just to put myself out there, since obviously a lot of these things could be new. Even flan, I mean, for us it's so common, but for others it might not be the same. So stay tuned. Tomorrow, 2 videos. It's 4 in the morning right now, and I'm gonna upload in the very morning around 8 probably a cake flavor, a cake combination, and then I'll upload this in the afternoon, and then tomorrow, which for you guys will be Tuesday, sorry, I'm chit-chatting now, I'm gonna upload the patriotic ones, which I'm so obsessed. I can't wait to share, and I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. That way you guys can also get at your hands and make some if you want to, you know, have that Independence Day for us Mexicans. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Don't forget to follow me on my social media, Instagram. I'll leave my personal Instagram down below, and then my business one.